So like how Sesame Street has a sponsored letter, I think at some point this podcast needs to be sponsored by Trader Joe's.
Probably. Oh, it's not?
No, my bank account says no. It does not.
Well, it's a very convenient location for which I can find beverages that usually we're interested in trying.
That is very true. And like I said, again, with the holidays being around when we're recording this, it has been a lot of wines as of late. So you can go check in the archives here at YouTube if you need something for your tasting table. But we're switching it up a little bit today because a couple stouts have made their way in, and we're going to try at least one of them right now that has gotten a little bit of extra aging to it.
That's true.
For this Give It a Shot, I'm Andrew.
And I'm Keith. And we are AboutBeverages.com. And the beverage that we are about tonight is the barrel-aged stout. I mean, it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
From Trader Joe's Campanology Brewing.
Which is the study of being out in the woods and camping.
And camping. Yes,
okay.
Right.
No,
the study of bell ringing.
It's bell ringing. That blows my mind. How is it not? Why is it called Campanology? Oh, man.
Maybe that comes from the word campan.
Could be.
Yeah, I don't know.
You had something there.
But this, and if you do a little investigative work online, you'll find that this is a brewery that actually does a lot of contract brewing. And so they're doing this specifically for Trader Joe's in this case, under this Campanology label. They are a brewery out of Wisconsin.
Yeah, we won't hold that against them, but
it looks like they also have like a dining establishment. And
that sounds nice.
Yeah, if you can go in and eat there as well.
So this was aged for 12 months, as it says on the front, in charred oak barrels. It is a black ale brewed with highly roasted malts. We won't read about the tasting notes on there. What was the alcohol is what I was looking for.
11 something.
11% even. Okay. So this is new. Is this new for 2022?
Yeah, I've never seen this one before.
Okay.
This is it.
Well, let's get right into it then. Like I said, it is definitely dark.
It qualifies.
It is the proper color for a stout.
Yes.
That's definitely a lot of vanilla. Like there's a lot of like sweet
coconut.
A little vanilla,
little
maybe
chocolate.
A little bit of chocolate in there too, like kind of more milk chocolate than dark chocolate. And like I said, vanilla, maybe a little bit of like oak, like wood kind of coming through in there too. But yeah, nice aroma. Like nothing like, oh my God, but like also like, oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. Usually, like I said, the things we've had from them, the peanut butter chocolate porter was from them. And we've had a couple other things, and they're usually at best, they'd be like, well, they're okay.
Yeah.
So my expectations going, I was intrigued by this, and like full disclosure, I have had this.
Right.
And so, yeah, that's kind of where I was like too. I was like, all right.
And this is $8, $7?
$7.
$6.99.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Are you ready to taste?
Yeah.
For the first time?
For the first time tonight.
Tonight. There you go. This is very interesting to me because on multiple sips now, my first reaction has been, I never thought something that I got a fair amount of stuff out of the aroma would be so empty in the taste. Like on the, like it almost like avoids the first 2/3 of my tongue. And I got like, it almost felt like water, like a slightly heavy water. And then I get a little bitterness at the back. And then a lot of like kind of, again, like almost aromatic kind of things. Like I get a lot of soft palate, like, oh, I'm getting the kind of the wafts of like the vanilla and the chocolate and those things again. But I didn't get a ton in the flavor. Second sip, I was like, okay, I'm getting a little more like middle of my tongue. Like it still feels a little more empty than I thought it would be, but it's very easy drinking. And I'm getting some of those lighter sweet flavors. It's not too over the top sweet. I'm getting a little more booze in there than I thought I was going to as well. So like overall, like it's very like easy drinking for a barrel aged stout. I just usually like probably a little bit more depth and complexity, but I think it's at $7. That's a good maybe starter. Like you've never had a barrel aged stout before. You don't know. They might be too heavy for you normally or something like, cause I think this one's not too heavy at all.
No.
So what do you think? Like this would be one that I would like. We just off camera we were talking for a minute about like, oh, we need to do one of these again where we actually put ice cream in it or make a float or something. This would not be one I would use that for because I don't think it's strong enough.
Okay.
For me, like I think if you put in vanilla ice cream or something like that to make like a beer float, a lot even more would get lost. But anyway.
Well, and that's kind of why I wanted to get your opinion on this, which is why I was willing to invest. I bought another bottle, and because
wait, you had this before? When did this happen? Oh, okay.
Because I thought, am I wanting to like this too much? Am I hoping that finally, one of these beers from this place will be one that I'm like, I like it. I think your description of like almost an entry level barrel aged stout is a good description. It's not as heavy as I like. I would like more body from it.
Yeah.
I would like that. But I get some chocolate. I get some roasty. I get some coconut. I get a lot of those notes. It does leave my lips with a little bit of the sweetness to it. Yeah, it does kind of avoid the first third of your tongue and then go back. But I think it has some overall some good flavor, and there's a certain taste that some of the beers have had from that particular brewery, and this doesn't, and I'm not a fan of it, and this does not have those. So I think it's, you're right. I think that is a great, this is like an entry level, hey, I want to try something barrel aged, but I don't want to jump. This is 11%. This will give you some of those flavors.
It's going to give you a lot of what you normally would get. It's just missing out on some of those heavier flavors.
Yeah.
Like it's just very interesting. Like and I think it's very smooth. And like, so I think there's a lot of positives to be had.
Yeah.
It's just, for me, what I'm usually looking for when I get into these heavier stouts is usually like, ooh, it's got this and this is rich. And like, and again, I almost look to say, wow, this is almost too much. Like that's almost the kind of, when I'm looking for a barrel aged stout, I'm looking to almost say this, oh God, this is almost too much.
Right.
Like what was it? The comedian where he used to talk about like one person cuts a little bite of fudge and they're like, oh, that's rich.
That's rich.
And I sit in the corner with a huge hunk, just like passing out. And it's like, that's kind of like what I look for.
Right.
So again, if you were looking for a more lighter barrel aged stout, something to kind of get into for the first time, and especially at this price point, I think this is definitely worth trying.
$7 for a bomber. So.
Yeah, for a bomber. Is this a 25 ounce bottle or 24?
I think it's 22.
22. Okay.
Yeah.
So in that range, no, I think it's definitely good.
Yeah. Okay. So I was pleasantly surprised by this in comparison, like I said, to what my expectations were. So good. Okay. But I wanted to bring it to you for your analysis. I needed a second set of buds.
Well, other things that could use always a little bit more analysis and also need a second opinion are our website, AboutBeverages.com. Yeah. You can go check that out. Go say hi to all the podcasts and posts and videos and stuff that we've got up there. Everything that we have ever done since the website started way back in 2008, 8-ish.
Yeah. First video in 2009.
Yeah, first video in 2009. So you can go check all that stuff out. Still good things to be found. If you only want the latest videos, YouTube is always the place to go for that. There are plenty of things that you can see from the beverage world, whether it's our archive podcasts or archives of this show that we do live, or any of the other things that we do in podcast format. You can go check out there as well. And if you only want audio, there's even more websites. There's all these different websites you can go to. If you want audio and you weren't at our actual website and you're like, oh, I like a Google Podcast or iTunes or Spotify, you can subscribe on those too, or whatever your favorite podcasting app is. Search for About Beverages and you can find our podcast there as well. Is there anything else? I think I've gotten everything.
You can you can check us out on the 3 pillars of social media.
Almost forgot.
Yes, you will find us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, which is the one that we use most often to keep you up to date on what is going on here at About Beverages. Like earlier this evening when I tweeted that we are about to go live on twitch.tv/AboutBeverages, which we do most Thursday evenings.
That's true.
Around 5:30 Mountain.
5:30 Mountain. 4:30 Pacific,
4:30
7:30 Eastern,
as
of right now in the daylight savings
You
era.
do the math, depending on where you are. We get together, we try some beverages, we record some podcasts, we have some fun hanging out with everybody and chatting. Also, throughout the week, Andrew's going to let you know what he is going to be doing in the gaming world and what beverage he might be drinking. Or actually, he will be drinking.
I will be drinking.
While he is doing that particular game. So for all the latest at About Beverages, follow us on Twitter.
But as we always say, whether you like it or not,
you should give it a barrel-aged shot.